Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LiveENODING. In this episode, we're gonna try to colorize these grease pencil kind of hair, like entangled hair thing that we did in the previous LiveENODING. So this is what I tried using freestyle. This one is actually much cleaner with the crease turned off, but you can see that I managed to colorize all this entangled hair that's being created procedurally, and I have three colors. So yeah, let's get started. This is what I have at the moment. This is actually just a matte cap. I use matte cap a lot just to give a quick result, but probably that's not the best way. But anyway, I'm gonna delete the grease pencil and start from nothing. Delete everything and go to frame 1. And it's complaining, Spreadchalk is complaining there is no grease pencil layer in the scene. So anyway, I'm gonna quickly draw a single stroke, and this is what we got. Okay, so far let's make this a little bit thicker just by scaling this. Okay, that's a little bit better. How many curves do we have? Apparently we have 20 curves, but they are all joined because of these options being turned on. For what we are doing, we're gonna actually separate the curve. So for each curve, we're gonna have it as a single object. This is actually easier if you want to colorize multiple objects. It's better to keep them separate, even though it's gonna generate like a lot of objects in the scene. Another way is really to join them all and then use vertex coloring. But in this case, I just gonna use the objects coloring. So let's save this. This is a spiral grease pencil hair thing. Okay, now we're gonna render it using Blender render. You can also use, of course, cycles render, but keep it simple. Use Blender render for now, and then give it a start with a material. With this material, I'll make it shadeless and turn on the object coloring. That's because Blender per objects can have its own color, as you already know if you actually watch my previous LiveENODING. And so yeah, you can see here right away I can give a different color for this object if I assign the same material. In Spreadchalk, for things like polyline viewer, we can assign material, so that's gonna be really beneficial for us. So yeah, let's give it a color simply by using object set ID. Object ID is set, and simply plugging in this object into this guy and then assign the color, we actually gonna be able to give it a color. There are many ways to do this. You can use just a random color generator in Spreadchalk. Actually, not color out, it's supposed to be color in. And you can pick RGB, HSV, whichever you like. I think for this object color, we actually need RGBA, which is 4 value. So we need to turn on use alpha. Switch to HSV and let's try. Okay, that's actually red color because of this. We can give a random color, random number, float, because the value needs to be between 0 and 1. So let's see, 0 and 1, float. How many do we need? 3, maybe plug that in. Now we have kind of 3 random color generated. And yeah, so this is a quick way you can really add a color into something like this. There is like a demo done by another Blender artist, where the artist actually use like a nice background object, something like, let me try something like this, SX, and then rotate it in the x-axis for 90 degrees. Let's give this guy maybe I'll turn off the ambient occlusion for now. I'll give this guy the same material as our colors, as our curve thingy. And if I'm not wrong, I should be able to colorize this object randomly as well. Well, that's the plane, that's the curve. Okay, because this guy is not included inside these objects. I'll fix this real quick. So the idea is to have this guy as wallpaper that's changing color, while the color is also being applied to the curve. So I have 5 objects here, and objects in, get the selected objects, and then I will use another object color thingy. Plug this guy in, size, get list length, get the length of the objects, plug this into the size, and plug this into this guy. This should be level 0, and this goes in there. And there you go, we have the random color also applied into our objects. Well, ideally we want to be able to actually specify the color. Random is pretty cool, but random, you don't have any control over the color. So we want it to be a little bit more controllable. Instead of random, I'll delete this guy, and let's do this more properly. So instead of using random, let's create our own color. So color in, use alpha. Let's have like maybe 3 different color. We want to be able to see the color as well, so we need to use something like texture viewer. Texture viewer light is actually very cool. We can switch this to RGBA and then try the color. There you go. So let's make it just like 10 by 10, actually too small. 40 by 40. Okay, so you can see the preview of color right away. This should be maybe yellow, and have another one here. Okay, this one maybe pink. Okay, pink, orange, and yellow. And let's combine the color. List, join. Let's join these 3 color. 1, 2, and 3. I think join level list should be level 2. And then let's use a list item. Plug this into the data, and hopefully we can pipe the color into this guy. Plug this into that guy. Okay, that seems to be working. So we can actually let's try make this maybe a little more like different color. Actually, I don't mind the yellow color, and then this should be. I try to get color that's more contrasty. Okay. Now we know that we can switch between these 3 color. Now we just need to provide random number generator. integer between 0 and 3, I guess, or 0 and 2. I have to test this. Use a stethoscope. Check the color, check the number 0, 3. Okay, it needs to be between 0 and 2. Okay, and this random integer number should go into the item. Now we can have random color based on our specified color, and this also can go into our setup. Let me minimize all this, tidy up the nodes. This join, we can hide it. So we have this color, and we have this random number generator goes into this guy. We need to have list length. This goes into the size, and this goes into the color. Actually, no, we need another list item. So all these 3 colors goes into the data, and this goes into the item, and the output will be for our color. There you go. That's the setup right there. So we have the wallpaper based on the color we specified, and we also have this really nice looking grease pencil hair strokes based on this color. And everything is procedural. I can still make changes. Maybe makes this green, kind of greenish. Change this orange. You can specify your own like a color palette, something you can grab from the internet or just your choice of color. So yeah, this is like one way we can approach this colorations. Yeah, so this is all the setup. It's pretty easy. No matter if I change the stroke thing, everything will be automatically generated and applied. This grease pencil currently set to additive. I'm gonna turn off additive and try again. Okay, there you go. That's how you can really quickly and easily design like this kind of like a stroke and hair that you can draw using grease pencil, and then you can colorize individually based on the color that you specify. And the whole thing looks like this. It's pretty simple. Yeah, hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in. Let me know if you have any question in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.